So here we are, right? And we're dealing with society, right? We're dealing with the generalizations that people like to make directly online, right? You have this young woman that decided to say that most male anime fans are ugly and weird. That's why we don't want y'all. Now, again, the generalization that takes place with a lot of women. And I want to note this. Specifically speaking, anime and video games started off something that boys and men primarily did. We were pretty much the only ones. You weren't really hearing anything of women or girls jumping directly into cartoons, into comic books, into this, into that, right? But once this became more modernized, once it started getting blasted, mainstream, this is when you started to have girls and women start jumping into video games, start jumping into comic books and the MCU, and to start especially jumping into anime, right? Because originally, if you take this back like 10 plus years ago, you weren't hearing girls have conversations about anime. This was not even a thing that was happening at all, ever. Even when you decide to go directly online, that's not what girls were doing. The only ones that would potentially do it, because I got to specify, the only ones that would potentially do it is maybe some like European types, or of course girls who are Asian. But other than that, you're not really hearing conversations revolving around anime in America coming from women and girls. That just was not the thing. So now we're in a society where everything is mainstream, right? So it's fashionable. It's cool to, in a sense, do these things. And because it's fashionable and cool, you got, young women like this that feel that they can generalize um, you know, men who love like anime as being, ugly and weird. And I'm like, that's very drastic. That is very, very drastic. So you have Metro Boomin, right? Metro Boomin is a producer. If you've never, heard of him, you can look up some of his work. You just easily type him in and you can hear some of his beats, some of the works that he's done. And he replied back, damn, we don't want you either, right? And he's speaking basically as a part of the male anime side. He's like, yo, it's crazy for you to make this generalization and to say all of these things because you look a certain type of way. And I want y'all to understand this, right? It's always the ones that are deemed or looked at to be attractive, that know that they have some type of looks about them, that feel that they sit on top of this soapbox where they can judge everybody else as less than. This is what you're looking at, at this moment in time, right? Because I had to look through um, the young woman's Twitter, right? She's into, anime. She does cosplay and all of these things, right? All great, all cool, all fun, no problem, right? No problem with that. It's the fact that you decided to open up the clouds from Olympus and look down at all the men and be like, all of you guys are weird. All of you guys are ugly. Nobody wants you. It's like, wow. It's like, that's where we're coming from. That's what we're doing. It's like, wow. But just imagine if guys, or a guy who was deemed to be attractive by women and all these other things decided to open up the clouds from Olympus and do the exact same thing to the women out there that are into anime, comics, video games. Just imagine a backlash that guy would actually get. So later she came back and she said, "Excuse me," at Metro Boomin, but disrespect with me again, and I will spoil the entirety of Jujutsu Kaisen for you up to the last manga chapter. I didn't call you ugly and weird, but if that's your opinion of yourself, so be it. No need to get your fans to dox and harass me. LMAO.
You keep talking, man, and you shut the fuck up.
So you mean to tell me that you have an issue with a male who just so happens to be a celebrity deciding that he wanted to respond back? I'm pretty sure she ended up getting responses from other guys directly out there, but because they were too ugly and too weird, and because they don't have any clout, no type of money, she decided more than likely not to really respond to those guys. But when it came to Metro Boomin, she decided like, hey, I can sit up there and tag you, get a little bit of clout directly off of this, see where it can go, see if it can happen, just so happen to go viral, so people can just so happen to hit up my Twitter and my IG, and things can get moving. But that's not exactly what took place here. That's not exactly what took place. And then you were like, hey, well, if you keep this up, I'm going to spoil this. I mean, it is what it is. Whatever. The internet spoils everything anyway. Chapters are already up there, so you're not really doing anything that the internet hasn't already done, Captain Obvious. Good job for you. And then you were like, I didn't call you ugly. Now she want to be specific. I didn't specifically say it was you, Sir Metro Booming. But if you wanted to sit up there and take what I stated and apply it to you because you lack self-esteem about your own looks, then so be it. That has nothing to do with me. No, you were sitting up here throwing slights directly at men who are in the manga anime arena. And you decided that because you have a certain type of look about yourself that you could sit up there and judge a lot of men out here as being undesirable. That's cool. That's great. But it's not like you got fields of guys that are millionaires or whatnot chasing directly after you. So I'm just a little bit confused on the judgment part. Because again, a lot of people who actually have something going for themselves, such as like a boyfriend, a relationship, they're not really online trying to speak on the looks of other people because they're distracted and they're so much consumed in the other person that they are actually with. Usually, when people want to judge other people in that way of trying to call them ugly or undesirable, they don't really got nothing going. Ain't nothing really happening. They say a lot of things in order to get attention that they're really not getting, or attention that they don't really know how to, specifically get, right? Because she's the type of girl, she gets attention, but it's not specifically the type of attention that she actually wants from certain types of guys. So, yeah, this is where we are. This is where we are, and this is why you have a lot of guys out there that have a problem with girls and women directly coming into video games or anime, because this type of stuff happens. It's already enough when guys have to deal with this, and boys have to deal with this in everyday life, just going through, and they just want to do the things that they want to do, and they get called, being a child, not being an adult, because you're into this and you're into that and you're not doing adult things and you're still watching cartoons and comic books and anime and cartoons. And it's like, it's crazy. And then you move on from that. And then as a guy, you find comfortability, right, in a whole nother arena with other guys who are interested in the exact same stuff that you're into. And then here comes the exact same girls doing the exact same things that you've already went through earlier on in life. It's like, yo, you just can't win. It's like, this is completely crazy. This is why guys just really want places and spaces specifically for them, because they don't have to deal with this type of stuff consistently. It's like, all right, we deal with this stuff early on in life. No problem. It's cool. But to deal with the same stuff later on, it's like, what's going on? It's like, what's really going on out here where it's like you have to be here in every single facet, that guys decide to, to be in. And again, if guys decide to come at you sideways, that's on you, because you decided that you wanted to make that statement. You wanted to say something specifically about guys. So you can't get mad if dudes start knocking right back with some insults or whatnot or whatever, because you shouldn't open your mouth and say what it is that you said online. You opened yourself up in order to get criticism. That's what it is. People are going to criticize your statement. People are going to judge you on your statement, right? On the way that you are moving, online. But like I said, it's always quote unquote the pretty ones that decide that they want to open their mouth and they want to start deeming every other guy that they see as unattractive and ugly. But yet, this is the world that we live in. Double standards.